location. Check it out, fam. It's two different ways that I look at situations like this, right? So, of course, talking to people in the Black community, it's important that we understand like the boundaries of where you can go or where you can't go. Now, do I agree with this? No. I think if you got on $100,000 worth of jewelry, you should be able to go anywhere you want to. Like, this is the reality in my mind. Like, you should be able to go wherever you want. If this young man worked hella hard to obtain these things, that shit is his. He shouldn't have to worry about nobody taking it from him, right? That's true to me, right? But it's a fucked up game, man. Being Black in America, it comes with a lot, family. So yeah, you should be able to wear your jewelry, your nice car, wherever you want to, but that's not the reality of life in America, especially when you're Black. This is specifically some Black American shit. Like, we gotta keep it real. When I seen this news story, I'm like, God damn, another one? You see what I'm saying? So it's no way this young brother should be in Roscoe's just eating with his girl, eating with his family. Somebody rob him for his jewelry, he end up dead. This shouldn't happen this way, family. But we got to realize, like I said, two things. If you're Black in America, you got to realize how the impoverished individuals in our community see things, right? Because this is a young brother who been robbed before in LA. He was on DJ Academic show where he spoke about being robbed in LA before. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to know the terrain, and this is unfortunate to me. You shouldn't have to worry about your jewelry getting robbed. You shouldn't have to worry about who creeping up to do some shit to you. But this is the reality of being Black in America. So you go to one of the most hood-infested Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in LA, shit like this is bound to happen. You see what I'm saying? And then, so look, of course, this young brother, knowing the logistics of Black life in America, he shouldn't have had on all that jewelry. Going into the Roscoe's, he shouldn't have. And also, this makes me think about the whole check-in shit, right? Like, in hip-hop, since the 90s, there's been this thing where if you go to a city you're not familiar with, you're behooving to locate the individuals in that city you're familiar with. The individuals in that city that got connections to the street, connections to the streets, you let them know, hey, I'm here. I'm in town. You see what I'm saying? This ain't no punk shit. Now, a lot of the young rappers, a lot of the young entertainers view this as a negative thing. I ain't checking in with nobody. I ain't telling nobody I'm here. Family, this is a bad move. Checking in ain't no sucker shit. Checking in is actually letting the people you know, hey, letting the people you know in the city, hey, I'm here. Look out for your boy. Tell me, and this don't be on no street shit all the time. This can be, hey, let me know the hot spots to go to. Let me know the cool restaurants. What's popping tonight? It's just getting a line on the temperament of the environment that you're entering, right? A lot of young dudes now don't feel the need to check in. In my opinion, this is part of the reason why we're seeing this rash of murders of young hip hop artists because of their ego, because their bravado. PnB Rock, RIP to the young brother. He's been robbed before in LA. He got a brother that's been killed based on street violence, right? So it's unfortunate, but the reality is you got to move like you in the military damn near. You can't really take no moments, no seconds off because anything can fucking happen. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand why a young man with $100,000 worth of jewelry on him, a $100,000 car, he had like a Benz truck. Why don't you have security, fam? You have to have security. I know people be feeling like they just regular humans. I can just go get something to eat. I can just step out real quick. Nobody gonna see me. Not in the hoods in America, family, especially LA. Once you land in LA, if you a rapper, entertainer, once you land in LA, everybody know you there, family. Because they mentioning how the girl added their location in a picture she took. Granted, you shouldn't do that. Just in general, like social media rules. If you're going on vacation, if you're going somewhere, you shouldn't necessarily tell people how you moving because anything can happen. I'm sure this girl wasn't thinking about that. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure this girl wasn't game tight enough to know, okay, I can't share our location. Niggas can be coming for him. Nobody's thinking like that, fam. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's thinking like that, but this brother got caught slipping, and here we go again. Another young man killed from senseless gun violence, right? And then when we look at it, I'm getting to the point now where I'm completely tired of this shit. Family, look, robbing niggas, taking shit from people. This is like treacherous behavior. This is hater shit. Family, it's get a career your own. Whether this be a job, whether it be a positive business atmosphere, taking niggas, this is scandalous behavior to take shit from somebody who's worked hard to gain what they got. You see what I'm saying? The bottom line is that's how I see it, family. You work hard to get a car, to get jewelry. Who knows what you had to get these trinkets, right? Nobody should be able to come up to you and take your shit. Now, granted, somebody come up to you with a gun, all young people out there, somebody approach you with a gun to take your shit, give it to them. If you walking around with $100,000 worth of jewelry on, you should have insurance for this shit too. That goes without saying. There should be insurance there too, so give it to him. But in this situation, from all the news reports, it states that he tried to give his jewelry. They say maybe he gave one piece of the jewelry. He was possibly moving too slow on the second piece. They end up shooting him a couple times. The brother died, right? This is specifically some Black American shit. You don't experience these type of interactions in any other community. This is strictly based on being Black in America. So yes, young men in our country need to be aware the downtrodden, financially disabled environments in this country created by the government. Because let's keep it real. When we look at the area in which this Roscoe's is located, this is a Black area in South Central. A part of that area was created when they put the freeway. Peep this game real quick, family. A lot of the ghettos in America, when these ghettos were thriving businesses, shit going the way we wanted, a way to thwart the progress in that area is by putting a freeway smack dab in the area. Now you effectively circumvent all the businesses, all the positive interaction that was going on has to be broken up because of this big freeway that was put there. The area in which this happened is one of those same areas, right? So I don't want to hear nobody outside of our community speaking to us about what we need to do to stop violence, what we need to do to stop the gang activity. This is bullshit. You guys created the white supremacists, the government in this country created ghettos. They created these environments that are now on autopilot. Now we're in these environments festering. They're on autopilot. That's a systematic issue, right? So that's one part. Now, if we just talking to brothers and sisters, right? We just talking to Black people in America. Look, man, of course, economics is a real thing. Like if you grew up in any hood in this country, you understand how the resources aren't plentiful. As far as the stores you can shop at, the different things you can do in the community. We know that that's kind of it's put in a negative light based on the lack of resources. But this is a systematic play, family. This ain't some shit that just happened by happenstance. So when I see shit happen in urban communities like this is based on the government's doing. This is based on the government creating these environments. Now they're on autopilot, right? So if you're outside of our community, if you're a political pundit, if you're on CNN, I don't want to hear nobody talking about what we should and shouldn't do when this country created these environments, right? But for young Black men, you got to get a job, man. You got to get a job. Like I understand different hustles Black men can do to get money. You selling dope, you doing different shit in the street. You shouldn't be. But I understand economics is the thing. Like your family don't have money, your family didn't have resources. I get it. You feel me? I get it. But at the end of the day, to what's end is it? Like this is why I always say having a code of conduct, being a Black man or woman in America with a code of conduct, this is the best way to approach everyday life. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't wish harm or violence upon no group of people, right? But ain't it funny that these niggas ain't in Brentwood robbing nobody, right? They not in Beverly Hills robbing nobody. They go right to the hood and do these type of atrocities to people who look just like them. I'm not saying we should be violent to anybody, but how about we start being on code? Like, what are you hurting your brother for? This is a 30-year-old man, worked hard to get everything he got, 3 kids. You took him from his kids for what? To my understanding, they got some of the jewelry, but not all of it. If anybody know how pawn shops work, if this shit is real, you ain't finna get too much for it. You ain't gonna get what he paid for it, that's for sure. So what are we talking about? We're talking about young men in financial destitute. They have no way to get money. They have no skills, so they turn to shit like this. This negatively affects all of us, whether these young brothers know it or not, right? Like, the police is gonna do what they're gonna do. They probably gonna find them, but fuck that. In general, this affects all of us. We are our own worst enemy at times, family. I get on my show and I talk about white supremacy. I talk about racism, all these different tenements that affect us. But this is black on black shit. Not like political pundits use it, but family. We got to realize how detrimental this is, man. Yes, being black, you need to realize there's a different set of rules you have to approach being successful in this country, especially when you're in urban environments. This is true. You have to move differently. You got to get security. You got to not post where you going to be on Instagram in fear of some shit popping off. You got to do this, but it shouldn't be that way. See, we need to have 2 conversations. We normalize all of the trauma, and I keep saying this, but this is real shit, family. All of the trauma we deal with in this country, we continue to normalize it, family. Just because you got on, I don't care if somebody got on every dollar they've worked for, you can see it on their body. Harm shouldn't come their way. But because this country created ghettos in America, because this country created an underbelly, if you look at the Roscoe's, where he is, if you look at the Roscoe's where he was at, visually, right? I've been around that area. Horrible environment. Drug-infested environment. You make it right this way, it's a hostro. You make it right this way, niggas selling dope on the track. So as a black man, young black men who's successful, young black men then found a way to get some money, you have to be aware of where you are, family. And this young man, I'm going to reiterate this young man been robbed before in LA. This young man got a brother, like a lot of us, who had to deal with violence, like his brother got killed in the streets and shit. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be aware. Unfortunately, you gotta be aware of your surroundings, family. And it's fucked up because this type of thing keeps happening. In my opinion, family, I don't think the powers that be are really interested in making sure shit like this don't happen no more. You know what I mean? They don't really give a fuck when it's black on black incidents. You know what I mean? So we need to continue to look at these type of things, family. And all these black men out here, like, I'm starting to see that niggas be scared, family. You in the heart of the hood robbing somebody black. All these influential white neighborhoods in LA, ain't nobody going there. Ain't nobody fucking with nobody white. The systematic white supremacist system that we live in now is on autopilot, and this shit is working, family. It's working. It got us attacking each other. Right? They got us attacking each other, but we scared to death of white folks. Right? Again, I'm not promoting violence or any type of negative activity towards anybody in our country, right? But black men, you got to be on code, man. I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do, but you got to be on code. You spending your time robbing somebody that looked like you. This man, PnB Rock, I'm talking about the PnB Rock killing yesterday in LA. This man got kids. This man got a family. And what's going to happen? We're going to do the RIP shit, right? We're going to do the RIP shit. We're going to put it on shirts. We're going to spread it on the internet as much as we can. And then it's going to die down. And that shit is eventually going to happen again, right? So we need to figure out a way to get to the downtrodden environments in America that are festering at this point, we got to figure out a way to get to these young men, because the government's not going to stop it. The government, in my opinion, family, is not going to put nothing in place that makes sure, if you put the proper resources in these community centers, jobs, like nice streets, nice establishments. If you put this type of infrastructure in the ghettos in America, things will eventually change. The powers that be don't want that to happen, family. So we got to continually see young Black men hurt each other based on the lack of finances. Sometimes we see tribal differences, where you from a different hood, I'm from a different hood. We got a problem. We've been killing each other. We see each other somewhere else. Now it's on. That's somewhat of a different conversation. This conversation is strictly based on finances, strictly based on resources. You robbing somebody because of what they got. Family, the individuals who did this, I bet you for sure, like within the next few days, they're going to get caught. Because today in America, being a criminal is some shit you really got to plot and plan to be successful at. There are cameras, newsflash. There are cameras on every corner in America, damn near, especially the urban communities. There's cameras everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. So you do some shit like this to this man in broad daylight, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? You see what I'm saying? But let a white police officer come kill a nigga in the street. Let a white police officer do some egregious behavior in one of our neighborhoods. Do niggas go looking for him? Not at all. See, we have what I call, excuse me, family, we have what I call a warrior class in Black society. Let me explain to you what the warrior class is. We have a lot of individuals who, based on tribal differences, based on the environment they grew up in, they've become hardened to violence. They've become hardened to operate in a particular way outside of the law. Now, when we look at Black society in whole, like looking at us as our own people with finances, resources, a militia, everything, we can use these kind of individuals. Individuals who don't mind being violent, who don't mind putting their neck on the line physically to make sure everybody's safe, right? To make sure their family's safe, they safe. They're doing it in an incorrect way now, but these individuals can be used in or for our retribution. This is how I see it. I look at us like one big group of people. You see what I'm saying? Like the white supremacists do. You see what I'm saying? So if these individuals at any point said, you know what? My gun, my negative feelings I have towards things, I'm not going to aim none of this shit at nobody that look like me. Family, mark my words, that's when the world will change forever. When we start looking at each other like, nah, you my brother, I'm not going to harm you. If we have a disagreement, it's going to be a conversation. It's going to be a fight even, but it's going to be some in-house shit that nobody know nothing about. Right now, we don't have that. It's a free-for-all. You see what I'm saying? And it's getting worse. Gangs in America used to have some kind of protocol. We're not going to hit kids. We're not going to hit women. We're going to be tactful and use some form of integrity. That's out the window. See? That's out the window. So yes, if you white, if you a political pundit, if you're a politician, somebody outside of my community, don't come in here talking about we need to stop killing each other. When you set the ground rules already. America can't tell nobody stop using a gun when that's how y'all have done everything. All the land y'all have stolen, all the shit you guys have commandeered over the years, it's been with gun violence. It's been through force. You see what I'm saying? So America needs to take a look at itself and say, okay, we've been operating a particular way, and now the chickens are coming home to roost, proverbially. You see what I'm saying? Because we got all of our citizens acting the same way we've been acting. When we get tired of a country, when we get tired of an individual of a country, we villainize his ass, right? We villainize him, make him the enemy, make the citizens of America look at this person as an enemy. Now we go attack him. And I always say this, we don't attack them with conversation. Let's keep it real. We don't go to Ukraine or any of these other countries. We don't go to have a conversation. We don't go to have a conversation. We go with guns drawn, like get that shit up or else. So when you look at your citizens who are using gun violence to tell their story, using gun violence to circumvent for the fact they don't have finances, they don't have what they need on a day-to-day basis, how dare you try to discipline our community? If you're not going to bring resources to the Black community, Black businesses,